Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British TV moments we couldn't believe we saw.
Sap, look at you. Who'd want to be your friend?
For this list, we'll be looking at the moments that are either controversial, astonishing, shocking, or a mixture of all three. Are there any moments on this list that you still can't believe? Don't be shy and let us know in those comments below.
And I hope you sort of look back on this as something quite exhilarating.
Megs! Megs, we need some love from ya!
Number 10, Simon McCoy's iPad. BBC News. This now former BBC News presenter will, unfortunately for him, always be associated with this moment of improvisation. At the start of the broadcast, he stood holding what turned out to be a ream of paper instead of his usual iPad, which was apparently the result of a panicked grab just before the cameras started rolling.
Good morning and welcome to BBC News.
After picking up the wrong item, he decided to roll with it and hope for the best. But even non-eagle-eyed viewers spotted this bizarre blunder.
The plan is neither a viable nor a long-term fix.
I guess you could say his prop wasn't the real McCoy. Number 9, you need slapping down. Eastenders. Poor Ben Mitchell was often bullied during his time living on Albert Square, so this moment was something that we certainly couldn't believe we saw.
Here's the keys. Lock up after yourselves, behave yourselves, and if there's any problems, I'll be in the cafe.
After finally being pushed over the line by his supposed best mate Jordan, he went, on reflection, maybe a step too far by hitting him with a spanner. However, this wasn't before he delivered this out-of-character line, spoken in true EastEnders fashion.
You need slapping down.
The aftermath was suitably grim, leaving Jordan with a fractured skull and a series of court appearances for Ben.
You better call an ambulance.
Number 8, Amy and Curtis split. Love Island.
I was coming back here to tell you that I loved you.
Never without a shortage of drama and heartache, this popular ITV reality show left viewers in disbelief after a heartbreaking conversation between Amy and Curtis.
You have no respect for me, you don't care about me. If you cared about me, you wouldn't have done that.
Things got heated at the Casa Amor after the former returned to declare her love for the latter, only for it to end up in tragedy after Curtis openly became intimate with other contestants.
I'm sorry, Amy.
The split was hard to watch, as well as being highly tense, and just a tiny bit on the awkward side, with Amy being left devastated in the aftermath. Number 7, Megs. This morning.
Megs!
ITV.
ITV, Megs!
If ever there was a perpetual candidate for accidental Alan Partridge, Alison Hammond would fit the bill perfectly.
Harry, come and get warmed up by me.
The loud but lovable ITV presenter took to the Nottingham streets to attend Harry and Meghan's first royal walkabout back in 2017, bringing her boisterous attitude with her. Initially being blanked by Harry, after beckoning him to be warmed by her, she turned her enthusiasm to Markle by screaming Megs across the street and getting other people around her to join in.
1, 2, 3. Meghan, we love you!
Finally getting to speak to Meghan, Hammond was clearly elated. I guess her heckling worked.
Congratulations from this morning!
Thank you so much.
Yes!
Number 6, England finally win a penalty shootout. World Cup 2018. ITV Sports. Anyone who's a fan of the England football team will know how hard it has been over the years to watch them when a World Cup match goes to penalties. So there was disbelief across the nation when the curse was finally lifted in 2018 after Eric Dyer's winning spot kick against Colombia. Cue wild celebrations. Up until this point, the Three Lions had never won a shootout in this tournament, losing against West Germany in 1990, Argentina in 1998, and Portugal in 2006. There were tears of joy at last. Number 5, televised seance. Darren Brown, seance. Certainly no stranger to controversial television, everyone's favourite noughties TV illusionist was at it again in 2004 as he stepped into the paranormal.
Gary, Dave, Emily?
Following on from his 2003 live game of Russian roulette, yes, you heard that right, there seemed only one way to go: raising the dead.
We're going to ask the spirit its name. You right? Carry on.
Bringing in a group of students to communicate with some people who died together in that very building, it had a real horror film vibe.
Okay.
Naturally, the show drew hundreds of complaints from the get-go, as people couldn't believe what they were seeing. Number 4. Thomas Shakavas' middle finger. BBC News. In a moment of pure televised gold, this blink and you'll miss it moment had people pausing and rewinding their smart TVs across the nation.
Now we'll have the weather forecast in a minute, and of course it'll be 100% accurate.
In a moment no one expected to see, and one that nobody could believe they saw, the weatherman aimed a middle finger at somebody in the studio at the very moment that the cameras turned to him.
Preparing for it, so I'm not in touch.
The best part of it is the way he tried in absolute vain to style out his gesture by awkwardly scratching his chin. Instantly switching back to the studio presenters, we were left open-mouthed at the whole debacle. Number 3, Letitia Grace Twerk mishap. Big Brother bit on the side. We've all had moments we'd like to forget, especially when it comes to dancing, but all these moments of cringeworthiness seem like nothing in comparison with what happened to poor Letitia. When demonstrating to Rylan her best twerk live on air, the unthinkable happened, revealing more than she intended to the nation and leaving us all in shock. Not only does her embarrassment seem very clear, but everyone else being in hysterics surely compounded her televised humiliation.
I'm nearly down, alright, I've done it, take it.
The former star of the Valleys took it all in good spirits, but will definitely find it hard to forget. Number 2, bigoted woman. Sky News. It's safe to say that politicians have had their fair share of slip-ups when it comes to being in front of TV cameras. Yet, when this was captured live, none of us could quite believe it.
Why am I still being taxed at 66-year-old?
After being confronted by Labour supporter Gillian Duffy over some of his policies, former PM Gordon Brown is then heard discussing the conversation as he gets into the back of his car.
It was a disaster.
However, unbeknownst to him, in scenes that resemble something from the thick of it, he's heard calling her a bigoted woman.
Everything. She's just a sort of bigoted woman. Said she used to be Labour. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
This is much to the shock of the woman in question, who heard it all. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 1. How on earth do you sleep at night? The One Show. Firmly at number 1 is this moment of unexpected savagery by former Blue Peter presenter Matt Baker when interviewing the then Prime Minister David Cameron. After a supposedly cozy conversation that covered owls and the royal wedding, he appeared to have one more question hidden up his sleeve, which looked to catch Cameron and his co-host Alex Jones off guard.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Really lovely to come on.
Wonderful,
Really
wonderful
nice.
evening. Just very quickly, how on earth do you sleep at night?
There is ongoing debate as to whether or not this was a sincere question, but one thing for certain is that none of us could believe what we saw when it happened.
Yeah, see you tomorrow at 7. Good night.
See you later.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.